yesterday I went to a place in Lancaster, up in North Lancashire, and it's like it's a bit like a community garden place where there's some education goes on as well. It's people that have learning difficulties go to this place and they can get gardening qualifications. It's called Piccadilly Gardens. It's in a little part of town called Scotforth. If you're ever in Lancaster, I recommend that you go and have a look. They do some very good work, and also they've got some extremely reasonably priced plants. I went there and I bought just a couple of plants, and they had a table in the shop part which said free plants. So I looked and I looked again because I couldn't believe my luck, and I found this lovely box. Now I don't know what type of box it is. The label just said Buxus, which is the Latin name for box. But what I'm going to do before I give this a bigger pot is I'm going to take some cuttings, because it's a good time of year to do that. You're looking at August at the moment. So the type of cutting this one is, it's a nodal cutting, so I'm going to cut just underneath a leaf node. But if you look at the wood, reasonably greenish, new growth up there, and if you follow the stems down, you can see the old brown hardwood. That's all last year's growth and the year before that's growth. So if we get the quite green stuff, that's called a semi-ripe cutting. I'm going to take it just like I do an ordinary cutting. So I'm going to snip it just below a leaf joint. There. Alright, so let's grab that. Same old score. You take off the lower leaves. I'm getting so good at doing this one-handed now. With my left hand as well. That's my bad hand, that, my left hand. Right, take these off. You want a good couple of inches worth of stem and not too many leaves left on the top, because the leaves is where the plant loses its moisture, because it breathes through its leaves, and when you're taking a cutting you don't want it to dry out, or else it'll never form any roots. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to ever so slightly wet the end, give it a quick dip in the root hormone powder. You don't have to use this, but it just helps things on its way. Right, if you put too much on, it can actually stop the plant forming roots. You can kind of like smother it. So always give it a bit of a shake once you've dipped it. I've got my label pre-prepared. I'm just going to stick that down the edge of the pot. And what I might do in a minute is I might even take some more of these leaves off. I'm going to take a few more of those cuttings. Always label up your cuttings, because it's very easy to forget what it is that you've been propagating. So, a month, 2 months time, that should have started forming its own roots. When they do, I'll put each cutting into its own larger pot, and I'll nurse that in my polytunnel over winter. Next spring, they'll be ready for planting out, and I should have lots of lovely new free box plants. So remember the name of the place, Piccadilly Gardens. It's in Lancaster, if you're ever up that far north. Yeah, I really recommend you go, it's a good place. Thanks very much. Please subscribe for more free gardening related videos.